Hello everyone, I'm Paul McGuire Grimes. Glen Powell is one of the hottest young actors working in Hollywood right now, thanks to movies like Top Gun Maverick and the rom-com Anyone But You. He's now re-teaming with director Richard Linklater for the new film Hitman. It's in select theaters May 24th and will be streaming on Netflix June 7th, and I want to talk about it. This is Paul's trip to the movies. The opening text shares that Hitman is a somewhat true story based on the Texas Monthly article by Skip Hollandsworth. Glen Powell co-wrote the film with director Richard Linklater and stars as the mild-mannered Gary Johnson, a philosophy professor by day who also happens to work undercover for the New Orleans Police Department. He works on a team that poses as hitmen to prevent future murder-for-hire plots. Gary's hitman alias is Ron, and his latest client, Madison, who's played by Adria Arjona, wants Ron to kill her mentally abusive boyfriend. Ron takes pity on her and convinces Madison to pull the plug on the plan and start a new life somewhere else. They then bump into each other later on, and a friends with benefits relationship begins between the two of them. Gary then has to keep up the ruse of being Ron the hitman whenever he's with her, but it's not long before people get suspicious of what's really happening with Gary, aka Ron. Director Richard Linklater is the genius behind indie gems like the Before trilogy, Dazed and Confused, and Boyhood. He previously worked with Glen Powell on Everybody Wants Some. Both are Texas natives, and they have kind of a chill but focused vibe in their collaborations together. Powell provides the film's narration as Gary recounting this strange turn in his life. There's a fun montage with him debunking the murder-for-hire concept as different movie characters play out behind him. Now, Glen Powell's the kind of actor who can just sell any character, and thankfully he and Richard Linklater know just the right tone to give to this film. It really leans into the dark comedy, with Gary having a geeky sensibility to him, and is someone who would never be thought of as a fake hitman. He's in way over his head in the beginning, but then starts to have fun playing the role of hitman. He starts to don different wigs, teeth, costumes, and accents based on each of his clients. I mean, there's everything from being just goofy to really menacing. And watching Glen Powell switch personas is a real treat, as he's a fantastic character actor while also just being that kind of guy next door leading man type. He has that effortless charm to pull off any persona. He's almost too good at it, and I think that Powell and Linklater seem to kind of toy on whether Gary, aka Ron, can really be trusted. Gary reminds students to seize the identity you want for yourself, and this comes after his lessons on Freud's concepts of ego, id, and superego. Then there's Adria Arjona as Madison, the femme fatale who also has some secrets. There are layers and twists in this film that really start to unfold in the third act. It's not overly complicated or absurd, but just twisted enough where I didn't know how it was going to end. Linklater and Powell make this feel uniquely clever, when it could have been drowned out under a different actor or a different director who may have played it all too seriously. They lean into the fun and the sexiness from start to finish, and yes, you do get pictures of the real Gary Johnson over the closing credits. Now, I want to go and find that original article to read more about the actual true story. Now, here's hoping that we continue to get more Glen Powell and Richard Linklater collaborations. I'm giving Hitman 4 out of 5 ticket stubs. If you like my review today, click subscribe on my YouTube channel. I have some movie reviews, some celebrity interviews, and follow me on social media at Paul's Movie Trip. Are you a fan of Glen Powell? Do you love the work of Richard Linklater? Let me know in the comments, and go to my website, paulstriptothemovies.com, for more reviews of movies like Boyhood, Dazed and Confused, Anyone But You, Everyone Wants Some. I actually got to interview some of the actors from Everybody Wants Some a couple years ago, so check out that interview way back in the vault. I know you're going to love it. So thank you so much for watching my review of Hitman. This is Paul's Trip to the Movies.